Hey guys!
Hey guys!
We're back with another Walking Dead review, this time reviewing Fear the Walking Dead, the Season 2 finale, 2 parts titled Wrath and North. If you haven't seen them yet, and you want to avoid any spoilers, skip this video and come back later because everything we say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. Alright, wow, Fear the Walking Dead, the timeline is so messed up.
Yeah.
That it takes a few minutes every episode to really get your bearings.
Yeah, like sometimes it's like, why did they do that? And then you're like, oh yeah, that's right. A couple episodes ago, this happened.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing this, and it's.
And it's for a variety of reasons. The characters are all spread out, and so things that happened for Nick in episode 3 are just now happening at the same time for Madison in episode 6, and there's all kinds of stuff going on, and it makes it really hard to keep track of what is going on when. Yeah,
like that's the biggest thing is that if you're gonna have your characters spread apart, keep their timeline the same, and it feels like it's not. Maybe it is. But it feels like it's not. It really feels like it's not.
Travis was at the farm with Chris and Brandon and Derek for a week. So there was a week there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the sign at the hotel. So just spending, an entire 7-day period in one place with no updates on any other characters. And then it just makes it really tough to keep up with.
What I'm saying is maybe that week also happened with the other characters, but nothing happened
when in their story was that week?
Yeah, exactly. Like, the timeline is just so messed up. It's really hard to follow.
The other big problem with Fear the Walking Dead is continuity. And this came through especially loud in the finale when the gang broke into the Colonia and they entered with no more than 10 people.
Yeah, it was a small handful of them. In fact, as they're getting on the bus, it was like 6 people.
Yeah, it really wasn't that many. But then when Alejandro pulls the bus out and the walkers start pouring in and the gang comes to look and see what's going on, there's legit 30 people there.
Yeah, like
and that's a huge continuity error.
Quadrupled or more. Like, it was really bad.
Yeah, it was a huge continuity error, and they gotta cut that kind of stuff out.
Yeah.
It's just really frustrating. I think Fear the Walking Dead is already on thin ice because people are still irritated about the cliffhanger from The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead, there was a lot of complaints about it being boring in Season 1, although we really enjoyed
Season 1.
The first half of Season 2 was garbage, and the first few episodes of the second half of Season 2 were pretty bad. But the last 4 episodes were reasonably good, above average for Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah. But they really gotta get a handle on these continuity errors and timeline fuzziness.
Yes.
To just make the show easier and less frustrating to follow.
They're also extremely bad at editing.
Yes.
We've mentioned a couple, like he smashes the window in and then opens the door without first reaching in and unlocking it. This episode here, there was quite a few. Like,
the big one was when Travis was fighting in the room.
Yeah, he slams Oscar, I think he slams his head in the door and he falls right in front of the door. And then there's this shot later where he's
not there.
He's beating Brandon, I think it was when he was stomping his head, and you could see the door and the guy's not there. And then it goes away, and when it comes back, he's there again.
Yeah. There's just things like that. They gotta fix that kind of stuff. That's the kind of thing that's the director's fault. There's nothing wrong with the performances. Top to bottom, the performances have been really good.
Yeah, the actors are fine. It's continuity. A lot of it's actually writing. The continuity, the timeline, those are really messed up. That's the writing. And then the editing process, that's not the actor's fault. They don't. That's not their job. There's somebody on set whose job is to find these things that are glaringly obvious to the viewers and stop them from making it to production. Yeah.
So, big events from the finale. Chris died, and it was, in my opinion, a pretty anticlimactic death for a character that they could have done some really interesting stuff with.
Yeah.
What I do want to point out, though, is was the walker that Nick passed when he left the Colonia?
The first
time. Was that Chris?
Because this sure looked like him.
Wearing the same colored shirt, long hair, walking with a bad leg. It sure looked like Chris, and Nick did not give him a second glance.
Yeah, and Brandon and the other dude said, Derek, right?
Yeah.
Said that they had to kill him because
he broke his leg in the car.
Yeah. And I just don't see them not doing that. Like, they did it to their best friend from, like, 6 years old. Of course they're going to do it to some stranger who just joined their group.
If that walker wasn't Chris, it's just another continuity error. Because to have the walker that looks exactly like Chris, with the same wound, a snapped leg and everything, and then it's not Chris, come on now.
Yeah.
You can't have that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the finale did give us a couple of really cool moments. Probably the best walker kill
ever
in the entire Fear the Walking Dead series. When Nick dug his thumbs into the walker's eyes and just...
until he got to the brain.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Also, I really love Strand's vocabulary. I could just listen to that guy talk. Like, the whole show should just be about Strand. When he tells Madison, it was your decree, how are you going to dissuade them? I'm like, literally, no one in the world would use the words decree and dissuade in the same paragraph, let alone back-to-back sentences.
And in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So, the fact that he can say those words, and it sounds totally legit, dude, I love Strand. Strand's the best.
Yeah, like, it totally works for his character to say those words. Like,
it
wasn't one of those things where you're like, nobody would say that in real life. God, what were they thinking? No, he would totally say that in real life. Like, that fits his character.
I have a word fetish, and just those words coming out of Strand's face are awesome. If I was going to grade Season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, a letter grade, I would give it a C+. The first half of the season gets a hard F from me.
Yeah.
The second half of the season gets a B- because those last 4 episodes were pretty darn good, despite their flaws.
Yeah. Like I said, like, there's a lot of flaws, but sometimes there's enough good stuff in it to make it still enjoyable.
And lastly, the finale gave us, presumably, next year's big bad.
Yeah.
And it looks like some kind of mercenary group or the military. They're in uniform, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're military. This is, after all, the apocalypse.
Yes. They could have just stolen those.
Yes. Really don't know who these people are, but I think it's pretty clear they're going to be the big bad. Madison's on her way. She's still looking for Nick. Nick's been captured. Luciana's been shot. Madison and Travis and Alicia are all on their way, and how...
And Ophelia has also been caught by a guy who looks very similar to the other guys, so presumably the same group.
Yeah, but geographically we don't know where she was, but it seems like it could be the same group.
Yeah. I mean, she was on foot for a part of it. She was driving for a while, but she was on foot for a good portion, and she didn't go to the border check gate, so... I think she's close, and I think that this is the same group.
The finale did set up Season 3 pretty well, so it could be cool. We'll wait and see. I don't know if we're going to review it next season, though. We'll wait and see what the premiere looks like, and if it's exceptionally good, we might bring Fear the Walking Dead back to our review schedule.
We're definitely going to check it out, but it's not like I'm counting down the days until it comes back.
Alright, I think that's pretty much all we have for this video. If you have anything to add, let us know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, and we really hope you did, tell us by dropping a like on it and subscribe for more reviews.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.